Hi, everyone. Sorry we're a little bit late. We had some things that we needed to do, and we're just running a tad late. We're hoping everyone's having a great week. It's everyone should be back to school and in full fledged uh, mode of family and work and everything else. The vacations are over, so we're ready to roll. First of all, we have some really sad news in the celebrity world with the passing of an absolute giant and an icon, Robert Redford, who in twice in the 1900s, 20th century, and in I believe in 2014, Time magazine had him as the top 100 most influential people in the United States. So, and it's definite. He was an icon. All the movies he did, he acted so well. And I just wanted to go over a few of the movies that I saw of him. His career, what's funny is he became really popular after he did a Twilight Zone episode, and also Alfred Hitchcock Presents, I believe it was, an Alfred Hitchcock Masterpiece Theater, which was super popular back in the day. The movie that I like that is that he also was a great prominent producer and director, and I loved Quiz Show, which he was a part of, and also A River Runs Through It, which he gave the voice to as well. But gosh, he did so many iconic
Yeah,
movies,
Butch
and
Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
yeah, and you. He was my favorite of him was Jeremiah Johnson. I love that movie. I think he did amazing job in that, and he was in a lot. Obviously, All the President's Men, and that was an iconic. He did a lot of movies that were smart. And when you look at Quiz Show, and you look at some of the other things, All the President's Men and everything, he did really smart movies. He was in a lot of the and obviously Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, that was a monstrous hit as well. He did a lot of movies that he was he could do it all. He could do stage, he could do acting and drama, he could do action. I mean, he was everything, and he was a cool guy and very politically active. He was very supportive of pretty much everyone. He was a real live and let live type guy. But here's how cool he was. He demanded to do his own stunts, but he wouldn't tell the director of the movie. So they would get stuntman, and if he did his own stunts, he demanded the stuntmen get paid. So even if they didn't do anything, he would have them get paid. So when you have people like Paul Newman, and I mean, uh, someone like Robert Redford, we have icons like Pacino and De Niro, and some of the other ones that when you lose, and time is passing, and we are losing a lot of the huge ones. There's a lot of people in their 90s and hundreds even that are just iconic. Clint Eastwood and some of the other ones that, boy, it sucks. Time's just a horrible thing.
Yeah.
But wow, just an amazing, one of the greatest talents in Hollywood. And obviously, he became Avengers. I saw a lot of people online, young people, giving him love because of the Avengers movies where he played that evil character. But what a great actor. So R.I.P. Thank you,
Yes.
Robert Redford, for all you did.
Yeah, rest in peace. It was so sad to wake up to that news this morning. But speaking of news, last night Tom Brady made a big announcement, and for a couple of days, people were wondering online what the announcement would be. It was everything from playing for the NFL again to running for office, which is what I thought it was going to be, because he said the announcement was something that he had been wanting to do for a long time, something he had been working toward for years. And it turns out he is unretiring, sort of. He's going to be doing flag football. He will be in the flag football arena in Saudi Arabia, which was something that everybody was reporting on last night. He made a big announcement. And what was so interesting to me was it looked like a lot of people were actually hoping that he was going to go back to the NFL as a quarterback. I mean, I know he's part owner of the Raiders now, but I thought it was really interesting that a lot of the guesses were that he'd be running out there with the Raiders as their quarterback. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, if no one knows, it's funny. A lot of organizations started doing flag football because a lot of studies have said kids shouldn't be playing tackle football until they're, over at least 15, 14 or 15. And so they started a lot of flag football leagues and it became super popular. And in my opinion, the NFL saw a money grab. They thought saw how popular it was. So they took it over. So they're now doing the huge into flag football, and they're using Tom Brady and some of the other players to get this promoted so it could be another huge money maker because the NFL doesn't have enough money. But that's pretty much what this was. Very corny marketing. Oh, he has a big announcement.
Yeah.
He's gonna cure cancer or something. I'm gonna play football in the league so I could get paid a lot more money and they could get paid. So it wasn't kind of a Tom Brady clickbait, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, he gets to be back in the spotlight again, and I mean, he's doing so many things. He works for Fox as a broadcaster. Like I said before, he's part owner of the Raiders. He has a small, part in that organization. So I guess he wanted more, and he decided to go back into this. Now, speaking of the NFL. There was a whole story that was going around about whether or not Taylor Swift attended her fiance Travis Kelce's game. The Chiefs played the Eagles. And what was so interesting was a lot of outlets reported that Taylor wasn't there. Taylor didn't show up. Taylor wasn't there to support Trav. Right after the engagement. What's up? Well, Taylor was definitely there. She was definitely there to support Travis. And what happened was, unfortunately, what happened with Charlie Kirk made her team want to protect her when she's out in public. It sort of made everybody around her in her camp feel that, we know you want to attend, but we need to keep you as safe as possible. So she was actually hidden behind a bulletproof screen that actually moved on wheels as she walked from the car that dropped her off to her seat. And that's why people didn't see her. And what I thought was interesting was some outlets actually said she didn't show up. She was a no-show. But other outlets did get it right, like TMZ said that she definitely was there. There were some videos online just basically showing I don't know what you call it. It looked like a large screen on wheels that just moved along. And you could see that, there were a pair of feet walking, and that was her. And they did it for protection because, again, what had happened with Charlie Kirk was on everybody's mind. And I know that her team, her family was concerned for her safety.
Yeah, and it's something that's been done a lot. You see a lot of with the athletes. A lot of WWE wrestlers have a lot of this too, where they'll have barriers or they'll have things up. So, but again, if Taylor Swift, she's a big star. You got to protect her, so you got to watch it. Plus, Trav is losing, and
Oh,
so she
no.
may dump him for Justin Herbert. So of the Chargers because he's winning. So you know how Taylor rolls. But what was I going to say? I think that it's going to be interesting. The Chiefs are not the same team anymore, and I don't think they're, the season's long, but they're definitely their window. You wonder if this is starting to close. The other teams are getting caught up, and you wonder if I thought maybe if they went to the Super Bowl at least the Chiefs, she would do the halftime because that would be, a big deal. So anyway, I just think she's a nice person. She seems like a cool person. A lot of this stuff's a little overwhelming for me, but I think everything will be okay. I think she'll be okay.
I
So
don't think she'll ever dump Travis, though. Not because of football. No, I don't see that
better
happening.
win, Trav.
But I do agree with you that everyone was thinking that she would be doing the Super Bowl halftime because they had said very publicly that they want her to do it. And now everyone's saying, well, if not the Eagles, excuse me, the Chiefs don't go to the Super Bowl, would she still do it? And I guess that's the big question. Would she still do it? Now, the other story that I wanted to bring up, which was something that happened this morning, First Take, which is an ESPN show, First Take with Stephen A. Smith and Molly Qerim. Stephen A. Smith made an announcement this morning that was very surprising, which was that Molly Qerim would not be co-hosting First Take with him anymore. And Molly Qerim is a Connecticut native. She grew up and went to school here, and she had been with First Take for 10 years. She's been in broadcasting for more than that, but I know she was co-host for 10 years. Now, the story she put up in her Instagram stated that this wasn't the way she wanted it to come out. I don't know the whole story, obviously, behind the scenes. But since it did come out, she wanted to tell her part of it, which was basically that just after 10 years, she wanted to move on to something else, and that she was very grateful and very happy for the time she spent with ESPN and First Take. What was interesting, though, and kind of confusing, was Stephen A. Smith this morning started the show by saying Molly wasn't there and that Molly was leaving and moving on, and how much, Molly meant to him and to the show and all this stuff. But again, it was kind of strange because originally what was said was that she would be staying until the end of the year. They had offered her a new contract, but she decided to not re-sign. And what I thought was interesting was when Stephen A. Smith made, his speech this morning. He said that Molly was no longer there. So it was very confusing to me. I don't know if there's something going on behind the scenes.
Now, ESPN has made a lot of changes, and they purchased, the smartest thing they did was purchase part of the NFL and all that stuff, because their ratings, last year they had the lowest ratings in 8 years, and they were cutting people, they were firing people. They had a purge about 5 years ago of getting rid of people, and now they just had one of their best quarters in 8 years. So first quarters. So they're doing great. All these changes. We're seeing the monopolization of sports and of everything. If you ever watch the movie Demolition Man, it's a funny, great movie, but it's scary because it talks about the future. And what's funny is they were saying they were going to a luxury restaurant, and the restaurant was Taco Bell, and they were like, and the guy had been frozen. Stallone had been frozen for years, 40 years, and then he came back into the future, and he goes, Taco Bell, and they go, yeah, they're the only restaurant that survived the restaurant wars. So you're seeing monopolization, big bank taking little bank, and I think you're going to see it in more and more businesses, and it sucks because some of the services are very expensive. I think someone added up that if you want to see all of the WWE programming, it's going to cost about almost $1,300 a year. That's ridiculous to watch TV, to watch one thing. And the NFL, it's hard to find a game. Okay, is it on Prime? Is it on, wherever? It's unbelievable. And then, and it's funny because how I would do it is I would make it, you could pick the games that you want to watch. But they're never going to do that. They do it regionally. It's stupid, but they do it regionally. At least they lifted the blackout order, which was one of the dumbest things, where if you didn't sell out the games, they punished the fans by not showing the game locally, which was ridiculous, a stupid rule. But because then people are going to be more mad, and they're not going to watch. So you want, the NFL does things weird, but again, they are a machine. ESPN's a machine. And it's just sad. There has been a backlash, though, with ESPN because a lot of people think the ESPN is more obsessed with the personalities and the people that are doing the stories than the story. And this is something that Howard Cosell warned about years ago. He called it jockocracy. You get so many jocks and so many people, pretty people in these situations, and a lot of times that's what it's about. Now, some are extremely talented. Stephen A. Smith ain't my thing, but he's popular. So, and he's popular to hate. And in today's social media, he gets it. You either want to be loved or hated, and being both is perfect because then you're going to make a lot of money. So I think it's going to be interesting what's going to happen with ESPN, because there's so many smaller. There's even rumors that they're going to change the conferences. They're going to start. The NFL has always dreamed of being worldwide, especially in Europe and in other countries like Mexico, Central America. And that's a dream of theirs. And that's why people say, oh, it's nice that they promote our sport in other countries. It's for business. They want, remember the World Football League? That was, they want to be worldwide, because if they get worldwide money like FIFA or someone else, you're talking ridiculous profits. So, which they already have, but it's not enough. So it's going to be interesting what happens. Another thing, boy, I'm telling you, I'm so sick of the negativity. I'm so sick of people, so much mistruths. Everyone's lying. I mean, truth don't, and nice doesn't matter anymore. In business and anything, it's really, we see it daily, and personally we see it, and it really got me down. But the thing what I saw really kind of brightened my spirit is a lot of people are now making Tuesday kind of that positive day where they tell people good morning. And it's sad it's one day a week, but at least it started, and they had over 42,000. Twitter said it was a record amount of greetings, of just people saying happy, hope you have a great day.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, happy Tuesday. Here's your coffee. Go do your thing. And I think that's really cool. I'm going to start being more positive online and trying to share it, because that kind of vibe, because I'm telling you, I'm tired of people thinking they're better than everybody else. Yeah, some people think they're bad, or the other people are bad and they're good, and the other people think I'm perfect and they're bad. It's gotten, adults are a mess right now in the United States, and I just think that we need to be, at least for us, you guys can do what you want. I don't care. But it's not that I don't care. It's just, I'm not going to force you to do anything. But for us, we're really going to express positivity, because it really got to me last night. I couldn't sleep, and I'm just thinking, things are so messed up.
Yeah,
And
so much negativity in the world.
And people are doing so many bad things, and people are screwing their neighbors, screwing business partners. It's wrong, and we need to go back to being good people, being kind, being considerate, have a conscience, which would be nice, and not be so sociopaths that, well, nothing affects me. If it affects me, then I'll care, but if it doesn't affect me, I won't care. Someone asked me, if you could go into a time machine, where would you go? And we didn't have it perfect. We didn't have a ton of money. We were middle class. We did okay, but we could afford what we wanted and do what we want. But back then, we didn't care what you did. It wasn't my job to tell you what to think or what to do. We didn't care. We just wanted to have a good time and enjoy each other and have fun and go outside. My parents would say, go outside. She'd put a bowl of fruit with ice on it, drinks in the fridge, sandwich to take, and she goes, go out and explore the world, come back at night. And then my dad was the world's loudest whistler, and he'd go and he'd whistle, and we could hear it from 10 miles away, and we knew when we heard that whistle, we had about 5-10 minutes to get home, so we went home.
My dad too. That must be a dad thing.
Yeah, and it was so much fun. We had, even in parties, I never heard of a shooting at a party or drugging girls. It's just crazy. We just wanted to dance.
Or at colleges, to be afraid to be on campus.
Oh, you got to worry about every creepy guy. I watch these guys. They gaze and stare down women like that's a cool thing, making them uncomfortable. It's just pathetic. Men need to be better anyway.
They're supposed to be the protectors of women.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. As I always tell when I spoke at high schools and colleges, I said, women pick better men and men be better men. And that's what we got to do, is we got to go back to being good people, not just so you're hot, do you got lots of money, do you got the right Botox and Ozempic? It's like, what are you inside? We got to get back to that. And we're going to start it with us. We're going to be more positive, and we're going to kind of let the other junk go aside. And I'm not a Pollyanna. We've been in politics since I was 10 years old. My family worked for politicians, and politics is a huge part of my life. But it's no longer politics. It's just smut. It's disgusting. A lot of anger. A lot of closed-mindedness. And closed-minded people don't solve problems. Open-minded people do. So we're going to try to be a little more compassionate, a little more positive, and try to spread the kindness to you guys. And if you guys got something, Give us something and we'll retweet it and everything else. And the flakiness. 16 emails that I sent, business emails, I have in a week one response. And these were people that wanted my help or wanted something from them or wanted me to do something.
They were looking for you.
You have text, computers. But we had smoke signals. We didn't have all this stuff, and we communicated very well. We had one phone in the house, and God help you if your parents let you call anyone. So, what is the deal? One person told me, well, if I ignore you or ghost you, that means I wasn't interested or I didn't want it anymore. Are you kidding me? I'm not a mind reader. Email back. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's common sense. It's freaking kindness. I mean, it's just, oh my God.
It's just so funny to me because, again, a lot of people reach out to us for different things, and we're always there to help, whether they want to do a collaboration, a partnership, or they just see us online and they want advice, or they want to know if there's something, we can do for them or work with them in some way. And James is so good about responding to everyone, and he does it in a very timely manner. And what's so hard is when they come for help or they come for advice or anything, and then you respond back and you're waiting for a response. It's like all of a sudden, well, okay, I mean, we want to help. We want to work with as many people as we can. But again, like James said, you need to do your part.
Yeah, this one podcaster, he said, I can't edit. I can't figure this out. I said, email me the video. I'll edit it for you. I won't charge you. I know you have, you don't have any money. I'll do it myself. I'll add all the, whatevers, which I guess I'm stupid because I'm nice to people. But I did it for free. And I was trying to give it back to him, and the guy wouldn't respond. And he told me I need it by Monday. So I'm scrambling. I'm doing this on the weekend, mind you. And I do it, and he says, so finally I'm texting him, I'm calling him, and then Tuesday morning, when it was already past due, he took it. And he said, yeah, the guy that I'm producing for is going to be really mad at me. And I said, this was done Saturday. Why didn't you just communicate with me? I said, I'd even sent it to the guy. But it's just a different day. But
we do our part. Yeah. You got to do your part.
So we've got a couple people that complained we didn't do something. And I'm thinking, gosh, you go out of your way and you try to do things and you take your time off to do things. And it's just a little gratitude goes a long way.
Yes.
And we try not to tell people what we do, because people are, some people can't be nice unless they got a video camera. And I'm so sick of seeing teenagers going to someone that's developmentally handicapped, though, and making sure the lighting's good and then asking him to the prom or something. I'm just so tired of people only being able to do good as long as it's on video.
Yeah, and for the views and for the audience, for the reaction.
I'm into karma. Whatever you do behind closed doors, that kind of will come back to you. But we're kind of have a whining session a little bit, but we want to just spread a little bit of positivity.
Yes.
And also, because we met some new friends and some old friends that kind of rehashed some of our stories and our fun, and it's really great getting back with people because they are great people.
And there are wonderful people online.
90% of people online are really cool. The rest,
you just got to be careful. Got to pick and choose very carefully.
Yeah, and when you're behind a screen, it's a lot easier to be a flake and to be, whatever, because you're never going to meet them or you won't meet them. So I get it, but yeah, it's just I don't belong here anymore. I just don't get it. But like you said, there's a lot of things also going on. We are going to be doing. We have some very special guests, and we either are going to be doing the Bears or the Green Bay Packers next week. So we're going to do it on Wednesday, and we have something for the thing. I really want to do something with writers, so please keep following us and Jen, JL Rothstein 1.
Yes.
Keep following her. We've got some special things that are coming up, and we're also going to be We're going to be doing live at the Wicked Con.
Yeah, in Boston.
In Boston.
So
and this is
exciting.
It's huge.
Yeah, we love to do these. We love to do anything remote. It's just so much fun. And we've done them in the past where we've traveled and gone to different places to do them. And we've done them also where the person who we're working with is there at the place and we have them on the show live and we get to see everything that's going on, and we absolutely love it. And Jen is amazing, and she's having the best time. And she has a new book she's working on, and should be coming out soon, hopefully in the spring. So we're going to be doing a lot. She's going to be doing signings and, like I said, other Comic-Con events. So we're there, right there with her, and we absolutely love it. And I know James just mentioned the NFL roundtable that has been happening. It's been so exciting because everyone's loving it. Everyone's loving the NFL roundtable, and you guys, I'm telling you, we couldn't be happier with all the views and all the comments, and it's just been amazing.
When you see, yeah, when
love
you,
it. I
when
love
you
it.
see thousands of people responding and
Yes.
viewing and listening, and I'll never forget when I first started doing podcasting. People said your ideas are dumb. You can't do things. I was actually using Zoom. We were using Zoom for years because I knew some girls in the Ukraine and Russia, and they would use Zoom. And I'm thinking, what's Zoom? And I used it. I started using it for podcasting, and people made fun of me. Oh, that's ghetto. That's no good. And now look at Zoom. Now it's a worldwide. I even told Florence.
Yeah, when we first met, when I was trying to come up with something for my website, I wanted to do like interviews on air, on video, and put them on the website. And he told me, the first thing he said is, okay, there's this thing called Zoom, but don't tell anybody about it. And I'm thinking, Zoom? I was like, what is that? And he started telling me, and he's like, yeah, but you can't tell anybody. And he was right. He said, in a couple of months, this is going to be the biggest thing. And it was. So again, you
No.
gotta try new things.
And also what you got, please stay the course. I know it's frustrating. I know you get tired. I know you're like, God, my numbers aren't going up as high as I can, I want. Or, wow, I had a huge podcast last time. I got great, support, great numbers. And then the next one is a dud. Do not get discouraged. This takes a long time. This takes years.
You can't give up.
Yeah, and you got to stick to it, because when it happens, it's kind of happening to us a little bit now. We have so many people reaching out to us for collaborations. The number one question you guys ask me is, how do you get collaborations? And I'm going to answer it. You don't. If you're not getting collaborations from companies, you're not big enough. You're not ready. And that's what I have said it from the start. People don't like that. People like to send 100 letters out to all these companies and stuff. We don't go to them. They go to us.
They'll find you.
Yeah.
When they see your content, and I've said this to so many people, you have to put out the content, because that's what they're looking for. They want to see the image. They want to see the branding. They want to see who they're working with. By the time they come to us, they already know everything about us. They know they know about TMZ. They know about all the radio, jobs, and who's hired us and who we've worked with. And they see our numbers. They see our TikTok. They see everything. And that's a big part of it, is you have to put out the content and you have to show them who you are, because if they don't know anything about you, and they don't see what you represent, they don't see the community that you draw, the following that you have, they're not going to come, looking for you. And that's the truth, is they come to us. I wouldn't even know how to contact these people, and I've said that from the beginning when people ask, well, how who do you know to talk to? How do you contact them? I'm like, I don't. I was like, I never have. And we never have. So again, you just have to put out the content and don't give up.
Yeah, don't.
It's got to be consistent.
And you've also, a lot of people, I see all the writers and all the podcasters doing the same thing. They try to retweet celebs. They try to do all these things. They try to, do your content. That's what sells it. It's not texting tweeting 100 times a day, simple stories everybody already knows. I mean, that's not going to do it. You need to have content. You need to have things that you do.
Original content.
Original. And don't copy everybody. Be unique. Be unique. Everyone, I'll never forget when I first started this. I took a class in Silicon Valley and they said 10% create, 90% copy and think they created.
Yes.
So make up your own ideas. And if they're dumb, I'll tell you a story. Every podcaster, I'll say 20 podcasters I knew when I very first started. Do you know how many? And all of them said your ideas are stupid. They're not going to work. This is how you do it. You need scripts. You need this. You need that. You need $5,000 of equipment. Blah blah blah. You know how many of those 20 people are podcasting still 4 years or 3.5, 4 years later? One.
Yep.
All of them are done, and their numbers tanked. And
Yeah.
that's when I realized that we were, on the right track.
Yeah.
We've got to put out the content, and we just got to keep blowing. And you guys,
It reminds me, not to interrupt you, it reminds me of when I was hired at Cumulus Media and my director said something that always stuck with me, is that you've got to stand out. You've got to be different. If you're doing what everybody else is doing, who's going to notice and who's going to care? Because there's just so many of you out there. You've got to be different. You've got to stand out. But again, you have to be consistent. I don't know how to say that strong enough, is that consistency. You have to keep putting out content. And again, putting out what everybody else is putting out or doing what everybody else is doing and the way they're doing it, you'll never stand out. And I don't really think you can improve and come into your own and be your own brand if you're doing what everybody else is doing.
you got to be unique. And also a funny thing, and I got a quick story for true crimers, because I know you guys, we have gotten a lot of little feedback from our stories. So hey, if you guys like them, we got some more. I got a doozy here. But again, and if you're a listener, some of the best podcasts that I get are small. I have one guy that doesn't even have 100 followers, and his podcast rock. I have an Indian guy. He's a young guy. He can't be 17 or 18 on YouTube. I'm mesmerized by this guy, because if you look at American how-to videos, they're 5 to 15 minutes long. They have 3 to 4 minute what do they call it? They have 3 to 4 minute 3 to 4 minute intros. They have music, they have dancing girls, they have all this stuff, and then they eventually get to the point. The Indian kid, okay, you want this to work? Do this. Go to this button, do this, do that. And he's a techie channel. I love this guy. I mean, he's amazing. So don't just look at Joe Rogan and all these other people.
Yeah.
Make sure you look at people that give you what you want. You're the customer. You're the person that wants this. Go and say true crime. Just don't go to, what's that, CLR or some of the other ones. Dolly, JLR or
Dolly Vision, which
we
are
love.
wonderful. We love them.
But go to a small one and check them out. And I'm telling you, some of these people, they just don't have the confidence, or they haven't been out long enough, and they're epic. I have so many techie accounts that I go to that are 10 times better than the other ones, the big ones, because they actually solve something. Now, here's not funny, this isn't funny, interesting story. There was a gentleman, and I can't remember, I'm not going to say his name. You could find it on the internet easy, just plug it in, but the story, he told his wife he was always leaving the house, going somewhere, and the wife was getting sick of it. They had 2 or 3 kids, and he would just leave. And sometimes he'd even be gone like for a day or so. And she's thinking, well, he's having an affair. Well, he wasn't having an affair. He'd go with his guys, or he'd go fishing, or he'd go whatever. He's just kind of a flake. And one day, she got sick of it, and he said, okay, well, I'm going to the lake. And it's like 9 at night. And she goes, if you leave, I'm leaving. And he goes, I'm just going to the lake. I'm not doing anything. So he went to the lake, and she said, okay, well, text me when you're coming home. Well, he never texted. So the next day she starts texting him, where are you? Like 3 a.m. Where are you? Where are you? And it was so funny that interesting, unique, just strange, not funny, strange, that he didn't contact her. So he just didn't So she called the cops, didn't respond. Cops went out to the lake where he was, couldn't find him. They started dredging and everything, and they looked, and there was his boat and his jacket tipped over. And they checked more. They checked for months. They had all these people searching and everything. Never found the guy. He drowned. So sad situation. She passed away. He passed away. Or did he? 6 years later, someone spots him. He was having a relationship with a Lithuanian, I believe it was Uzbekistan woman, who was from Ukraine, very pretty lady, and he was having a relationship with her online. He told her, "I'm sick of my life. I want to come and live with you." So he got a different identity. He moved there. He lived there for 6 years, and then they finally arrested him and brought him back. And the wife was just irate. He actually hinted on coming back.
Oh my
She
God.
said, "No, I'm out of here." And it's amazing that people, there's been several cases. Go on Google and put missing persons and put out or missing. There are, and do you know the FBI barely keeps statistics on missing people, which I didn't know that. I went and did a search on how many missing people go missing a year. There's no statistics. It's just guesses. I mean, I go on YouTube, on Facebook, and every day there's 5 to 10 missing people.
Yeah, it's so sad. And a lot of people, like, I was just thinking of the Amy Bradley case. There are people who think, she's still with us. She's out there in the world, but she doesn't want to be found. Or else, if she were still alive, she would have found a way to contact people. And I know, just being a true crime enthusiast, there are stories and there are times where the police are contacted and it is an adult. And just based on what they're seeing around them, people are allowed to go away, actually. They're allowed to disappear from their life. Is it the right thing to do? No, because you're leaving people behind who are worried about you and obviously need to know what happened to you. But there are stories like that where people do leave and start a whole new life. In some cases, it might be a woman who's leaving an abusive situation and there was no other way, or like this guy who just wanted to start anew somewhere. But it's very interesting, and it made me think of the Amy Bradley case, because there's still people online who think if she is still alive, and a lot of people think she is, including her family, she would have found a way. She's in her 50s now, if she's still with us, to contact her family. And there are people out there who say that, yeah, it happens sometimes. People do go away to.
Now, I have an interesting story, and I owned a medical business in this Bay Area, California, Northern California, and we had a patient that her husband went missing, and they couldn't find him, and it was kind of a big deal. They had money, and she was an older woman, and all of a sudden there started to be some red flags about their relationship, about her. Some had said she had a boyfriend, all this other stuff. So she ended up having a boyfriend, a younger guy. Well, what's funny is the day before he died, or the day before she called him missing, she put in this huge pond in her backyard. And she was insisting it had to be done. My husband wants it, blah, blah, blah. So she built the thing. So for months, they worried about what was going on. And this guy thought he was going to marry this woman and he was going to be wealthy for the rest of his life. So, kumbaya, all that stuff. Well, she got another guy. And she was playing around with the younger guy, because young people love money. So if you got the money, you'll get one. And so she was with him, and he went to the police. He goes, "I got a story to tell you." He showed that they had unalived the husband, put him in cement bag, and they put him, when they did the cement, they put him in the pond. So he was part of the pond. So what they had to do is they had to take apart this huge pond. They had to, bring in construction crews, take it apart, and sure enough, there he was, and she finally got caught. But if she would have stayed with that guy, she would have got away with it because he was worth millions. And it's just when you go and you do searches and you go on Google and you see all these crazy stories, the things that the mainstream media talks about are nothing compared to the crazy stories. Another one is missing in the forest. People will, experienced hikers or hunters. Yeah. Hunters all over Tennessee, they're saying are missing and never found again. Now some blame Bigfoot, some blame aliens, but it's weird that these experienced people, and they'll have thousands of people searching for them, never find anything about them, and it is very strange. And to me, I think when the most heartbreaking thing in true crime is having a family who have victims and they don't know what happened to them or they don't know where they are. And it's just sick.
The not knowing sometimes is much worse.
Just crazy. But those are just a couple of things we just wanted to touch base with you with the extreme news of Tom Brady playing flag football. And
I was on my edge of my seat because I wanted to know what's the story. What's he doing?
I told her I don't think this is going to be a big thing, but and no way is he coming back. Those days are over. Yeah.
I guess this was the only way to come back, but not fully come back because he's unretired now, but not with the NFL, not doing the Patriots and that again.
And I'm reaching out to Travis Kelce. Trav, start winning. Start winning, boy, or else you will be dumped.
No. I don't believe that. I do think a lot of people are surprised, though, and some people may be happy that the Chiefs aren't doing as well as,
I'm teasing. The Chiefs are going to be fine.
I think they'll make a comeback.
They played two of the best teams in the NFL and lost, so they'll be okay.
Yeah, I think they'll be back.
No one's doing any statues yet. It'll be all right. So anyway, you guys take care. Have a great week and a great day, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
And don't forget, next week we'll announce it in the next day or two. We're going to be talking Bears or Packers and the state of the NFL. And thank you. Well, gosh, I think
the roundtables
10,000. I mean, it was amazing. So thank you
with
all.
Anna and Tyler.
Oh, Anna and Tyler, thank you. So and also amazing. To Dolph, to Jono, Zach. I mean, these things, everyone gets bigger and bigger. So we have a lot of surprises too that we're going to be announcing that are going to be fun for a lot of you hardcore football fans. So you guys take care. Have a great day. And thank you.
Bye.